Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, brought to you by Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, available every Friday, wherever you get your podcast. We're still wrapped up here because I am equal parts frustrated and excited about this review. As I'm sure you saw, when you clicked on the link, this is G.I. Joe Classified Series, Tiger Force Outback, that is Target exclusive, but that I did not get from Target because I ordered it over a year ago on October 23rd, 2021, just like everybody else, and have received, at the time that I ordered this, had received 4 delay notifications that I had to approve. And since I ordered this on October the 21st of 2022, approved 2 more delay notifications for the Tiger Force Outback that I pre-ordered from Target. And because it's a Target exclusive, and we'll go ahead, and the reason I have it in this box is I want you to see the quality of the packing here, of how great everything looks from Star Action Figures, located in Portslade, East Sussex, in the UK. That's right, I had to order from outside of America in order to get this figure in what I consider to be, well, it's already not a timely manner, but it's thoroughly annoying. I don't know what's going on with Target. I don't know why they're not shipping this and the Python Patrol figures, but I cannot recommend Star Action Figures highly enough. I ordered this, like I said, on October 21st, and it got here on November the 1st. So that's pretty fantastic. And this is the reason that I have this is outside of the US, Target doesn't exist. So other retailers carry Target exclusive items. These will be at Toys R Us in Canada. But unfortunately, here in the States, we have to wait for Target to ship them or for them to show up on shelves in Target, and that's just not happening. I don't know why. Full disclosure, this cost me about $47 American. Normally, I would never pay over retail. Well, I'm not going to say never. It is very, very rare that I will pay over retail for anything because I fully believe in being able to find stuff. And so far with the Classified series, I have paid retail for every single item that I've gotten. This is the first one that I've gone over retail for. But I wanted this figure very badly. I love the look of it. Honestly, I want this more than I want the regular version of Outback, although I want that one as well. This is one of the highlights of the line so far to me, and I was willing to pay a premium to make sure I got it. And honestly, to stop wondering, to stop thinking, oh, are these all just going to go directly to Ollie's or some other discount store that may not even be local to me? I'm tired of wondering what's going to happen over a $23 action figure. So I made it a $47 action figure, and now I don't have to worry anymore. You can see on the back here, it's a variation of the Cobra Island art. This was supposed to be out earlier this year, I would say. I would be shocked if the powers that be thought this would be any later than March of this year, because we ordered it in October of last year. So I don't know what the heck is going on. Nobody has an explanation. Nobody's going to be forthcoming about it. But here it is, and this is interesting. It is late enough in the line that it has the newer version of the packaging, not the newest version, but the window does not extend around to the side to cover the specialties like it did earlier in the line. So we have Outback's specialties are he likes wire decorative balls. He enjoys bullets. He likes palm trees. And he also likes cacti. He has a little terrarium in his bunk that he takes care of. Of course, those are my silly interpretations. You can go to gijoe.com, maybe, to find out what these actually stand for. Let's go ahead and open them up. Oh, well, let's take a look at the art's fantastic. It's almost like a Bill Sienkiewicz style of artwork. I really dig this one. sometimes the stylized stuff looks awesome. Sometimes it doesn't work for me. But in this case, this Outback, I think, looks fantastic. And I'm actually not sure off the top of my head if this is a completely different version from what'll be on the regular Outback. I don't know if we've seen that yet or not. But I'll be curious to see if they just recolored this art for the regular Outback. I would hope not. All right, let's get this guy out of here. I've spent enough time jabbing, but there was a lot of story behind this purchase and this figure, so there was stuff to get out of the way before we finally cracked into the box. We've got our legal piece of paper, and we've got Outback with a nice Tiger Force background. Now, I was out of Joe by the time Tiger Force was a thing in the 80s. I was aware of Tiger Force and Python Patrol, and to be honest, at the time, didn't particularly care for them. I mean, I wasn't collecting, so I didn't take it personally that they were doing these wacky patterns and stuff on these characters. But it wasn't really a thing to me. It was just sort of something I was aware of, and just like, I don't think much of that. But now, as an adult collector who wants things to be as toyetic as they can be, and who is much more interested in fun, cool toys than in things that reflect the real world or whatever, I'm very much down with Tiger Force and Python Patrol, and quite frankly, given the choice, would rather have more colorful, interesting-looking figures on my shelves than just plain drab real-world military. That, to me, is not very interesting. Whereas an orange t-shirt with a big tiger on the front of it is fantastic. And I'm also a huge fan of the gray hair look, the older version of Outback. Or if you wanted to be a completely different character, that's fine. You can, certainly go that route. However you want your headcanon to go. It's your toy shelf. It's your business. And I don't know, honestly, which way I will go with it. But considering it's the same portrait, look at now this is interesting. Look how weathered his face is. All those wrinkles, all that detail. This is possibly the best portrait we've seen yet in Classified, although that Major Blood is killer. He looks great, though. This is a heck of a portrait. And, I'll be happy to have the red-haired version as well. But to me, this just looks right. I love the bandana is not like a cool... It's literally fabric tied around his head. They didn't try and make it look like some kind of cool piece of business or anything. I've got a little paint. Didn't quite hit right here. But, I mean, that is a tiny, tiny detail that honestly, to my naked eye, not looking at it through the video camera, I can't even really see it. As far as the articulation, I mean, we know. I'm not going to go over the articulation for every single Joe figure. It's standard. There's nothing special or different here. He's got a great tempo of that tiger on his chest. Looks fantastic. The orange of the shirt is not as bright as I thought it was going to be. In person, well, really in the camera, I'm looking at it, in hand and through the screen up here. It's pretty well represented in the video. So it's a little more subdued orange than I was expecting, which is fine, but I would have been okay with a bright orange as well. He's got camouflage BDUs. Look very cool. Pattern goes all the way around. It's green and brown. Looks good. He's got his knee pads that are sort of separate looking pieces from the trousers. He's got the great laced boots with treads that look fantastic. And then he's got the sheath over there. This is just a striking figure. It's very toyetic, and it's not so bright that it's going to stand out like the retro gung-ho does. But it definitely is going to draw the eye and be interesting on the shelf. And take a look at this. You've actually got a paint hit up here on the shoulders of his web gear. Just gives it a little extra depth. Looks very nice. I like it. Maybe we could have gotten a little more paint on some of these buckles. Would have been cool, but he does have it on his belt buckle. But, some little hits here and here, or maybe paint the actual canvas. I guess that's canvas portions of the web gear. But still, looks good. So I do not have an original Tiger Force Outback, and probably never will, but we can certainly check the sculpt details of the original Outback against this one. And you can see they actually sized one of these pouches down. The pouch on the original Outback is larger than the pouch on the classified Outback. That's actually kind of funny. But they've represented all of the elements, I think, very nicely here. You have that same sheath over the boot. You've got the spot for his flashlight. You've got a pouch over here, which on this one he's got a holster rather than the pouch. And, well, I take that back. I didn't phrase that quite right. He's got a holster over the pouch. He does not have... I always liked the look of this leg pocket. I said pouch. It's pocket. I always like the look of this pocket because it looks like it's full of something. Whether he's collecting rocks, whether he's got a grenade in there, who knows what. So I might even leave this off. I don't know. We'll see. Because I feel like every classified figure at this point has one of these holsters. I wouldn't have minded kind of a full-looking pocket. That would have been a nice touch. But still, I mean, it's there. The pocket is there. And you have an extra piece that you can use or not. It's up to you. And then on the back, I mean, there's not much to go on there. That's fine. So you can see sculpt-wise, pretty much everything is represented from the original Outback figure. Let's set him to the side and take a look at this gentleman's accessories. He's got, well, I guess bring him back over here because let's take a look at the backpack and make a comparison. We've got a big stuffed full backpack. Looks great. I think they did a nice job with that. Again, a little more paint wouldn't have hurt it, maybe on those buckles. I mean, that's something you can do yourself. I'm not personally into customizing in that way. But it has that nice full survival, loaded up look that the original backpack has. And then, well, we're just going to keep bringing this guy back. Got a submachine gun that is similar. It's not the same at all, but, similar to the original. And I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments what this is or what this is supposed to be based on. I'm not... I just want it to look cool. I don't care if it's real. I don't care about any of that. I just want a cool-looking gun. And I think they've achieved that here. It's something unique, something that we haven't seen in the line yet. And, of course, it's going to... Oh, you know what I didn't point out on this guy? Oh, man, look at the arm hair on this guy. That's a nice little touch. And then he's also got... These are sculpted, the tops of his gloves. I thought these were going to be separate little pieces. The tops of his gloves, which check that detail out. I kind of overlooked that. Are sculpted onto the front of his forearms. So it's actually, maybe it's not the top of his glove. Maybe that's like kind of a bracelet. And then he's got his watch over here on this side. But it is sculpted on. It's not a separate little piece. But great detail with that arm hair there. So he's got the shoulder rig for the submachine gun, but he'll be holding this. And, one of the features of the Classified series is how perfectly those trigger fingers fit into the trigger guards. And once again, just perfect and beautiful. Looks fantastic. And you should be able to achieve a two-handed grip pretty easily with this guy. There you go. I mean, you can obviously do better than that, but for the purposes of this review, that's good enough for right now. I'm going to get that backpack pegged in. You can see his harness has a hole in the back that goes straight into the figure. I got a pretty decent sized peg. Some of these, over the course of this line, You've had some backpack pegs that were a little too short and some that were a little too long. This one seems just right. And you can see the curvature of the backpack fits into the shape of the figure's back. So it's got like a contour there that matches it up nicely. So looks great. And then we've got some tools to go along with that. Well, not necessarily a tool, but a pistol. Really cool. I believe we've got a laser sight on the bottom here, and then the wrappings are a nice touch, especially with that paint. Look at that paint. Love it. So that is going to go right into that holster, which I guess I'll leave on there because that pistol is so unique and different looking. It gives it a little extra flavor. So that holster is going to stay right where it is. And then we have a shovel. Lots of detail. That is a heck of a shovel right there. Really, more of a spade, really. Let's call a spade, because that's what it is. And then that is going to store right there on the side of that pack. Very nice. We've got his flashlight. Sort of a signature of the original figure was that little flashlight that gets lost oh so easily. And full disclosure, the flashlight on mine is a reproduction because I don't care. I just want to put it on the shelf. So a little paint here on the lens, a little white would be nice. And again, if I was a customizer, I'd probably put some glossy white here and maybe a little red on the button there. And then that's going to slide right into that thigh harness. Boom. Perfect. Will we see these again for Tunnel Rat? I certainly hope so. And then finally, survival knife. One color. Again, a little paint would have been nice, especially on the blade. Just make that silver or even make the whole thing. I don't know. I would like to see more paint on a lot of these. Oh, this is a little... That's kind of surprising. We haven't seen... typically these are a little more sturdy than this. And I mean, it doesn't... it's not completely floppy, like it holds its shape well, but I'm surprised it's that bendy. And of course that is going to go right into that sheath. And there we go. That is Tiger Force Outback. I am so happy and excited to have this guy to put on the shelf. Like I said, worth every penny to have him and to not have to worry about him anymore. Just one of the best figures of the line as far as I'm concerned. Interesting that we have an extra peg on the side over there. I was wondering if maybe that flashlight could peg onto it for like an over-the-shoulder thing. I suppose you could put the trigger guard of the gun there. But that does seem weird, doesn't it? You guys, I missed something in the packaging here. Holy cow. It's not what goes on that peg, but it is... I don't know how I overlooked that. The magazine for the gun. Sitting here looking at this the whole time. There are probably some of you who are sitting here yelling at the screen like, there should be a magazine in that. Which makes it look, of course, more like the original. I'm noticing the backpack is a little loose. Just a little bit. I might heat that up and try to push it in a little bit further than it goes kind of on its own. Still odd, though, that we don't have anything to go on this other peg. Now that's kind of throwing me off. And that's it. There were no other... This isn't a Storm Shadow situation where there was an empty hole or something. So there you go. Tiger Force Outback, ready for battle, ready to be deployed to the shelf. I'm honestly kind of tempted to take this guy outside and take some pictures. I might do that. But to me, well worth it to go ahead and just pay and have it in hand and not worry about it anymore. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Thank you again for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. And as always, yo, Joe! podcast.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.